Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Bubba Sparks. If you didn't know prior to this moment, you better know for sure. Anytime I'm rolling through Colorado Springs, I'm checking out Wake and Bake America. How could you not be listening to Wake and Bake? Holding it down with Cammy, Renee, and Mr. Trey. All the way, twice on Sunday. Y'all probably ain't on Sunday, but it's all good. y'all should be.
Copy written, so don't copy me.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Bubba Sparks. If you didn't know prior to this moment, you better know for sure. Good morning, evening, and afternoon, baby, Chris. Chris, you're a little baby. Little fake baby. No, I'm just playing. What's up, Chris? Chris in the building. Yo, hey man, it is Wake and Bake America show. Guys, don't forget you can check out the website, Wake the letter N Bake America show. Anytime you want, anytime you can, and anytime you will, baby. But yeah, definitely check them out. Wake and Bake America show. You can actually links to all the old shows. I do need to clean up the website, Chris, though. I really do. Anyway, welcome to the show, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, you young little whippersnapper.
Wait, what? Why would you call me that?
You are younger than I am. That's why.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's actually fair. That's a fair point, per se. That's the only credit you'll get around here. I'm worse than the bank. Uh-oh. All right, so we are at what seems like the umpteenth Thanksgiving special. Although we're not doing this, what's your favorite pie thing? I'm over it. Maybe we might come back to that next year, Chris. Honest answer.
Okay.
We might.
Yeah.
But today, I don't really feel like I'm about that life. So we got a different show planned for you guys in a sense. We're going to be doing Fear Factor, right? What freaks you out, man? Freaks me out too.
What's your favorite bug?
I'm not going to freak out, man. I'm not going to freak out, man. Freaking out.
Not gonna do it.
I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do. Whoa. Feedback. Not going to do what you think I'm going to do, though. Not going to freak out, man. Anyway. But I do enjoy our annual Thanksgiving and holiday special that we do today.
Craziness.
It's fun, but also we're gonna be having some weird fun too. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, not the kind of weird some of you might be thinking about.
Yeah, no, we're talking about fear factors. What gets you scared, man? But before we can do that, we should probably say a prayer, baby Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Would never do you like that.
You come here to not have to do that. Full of shit.
You come here to not have to do that.
Right.
Amen, brethren.
His separation of church and radio.
So, and thank you for all the people on the live feed. I'm going to get to your comments on Fear Factor, but first, let's give thanks. Chris, you know that on my show, going back long before I even met you, you don't even know this, but before I even met you, we always give thanks on the show. I've told people, even people in the worst of worst situations, the crummiest of situations, there's something to be thankful for. Even if you have to dig down deep inside your heart that's two sizes too small, Grinch, there's still something to be thankful for. So, without further ado, Chris, why don't you go first this year? Why don't, usually I end up kicking this off and everybody gets their ideas off me. Just kidding. No, but, so I do want to go ahead and open the floor to you first, Chris. What are you thankful for in, at the 10th annual Wake and Bake America show Thanksgiving special?
I'm thankful for a lot of things. I mean, besides having a good career and a decent life, family, friends,
good job.
And the radio show, being 10 years old, never thought it would make it to this point. Glad it did. Wouldn't change it for anything. I'm thankful to be alive. Shit, these days.
if I had $1 for every time I was like, "Fuck this show, I'm done, I'm over it." I mean, honestly,
And we always come
I'll be a
back. We
100.
always come
So
back.
the fact that we're here 10 years later after and just a plethora of wonderful hosts, a plethora of wonderful friends, and just like I can't tell you, I met so many amazing people over these years that I would not have met. And it is really our 10th season, guys, here, our 10th anniversary on just this version of the Wake and Bake America show. I've actually been doing this stuff for like the better part of 2 decades.
Yeah.
Chris been doing this stuff an entire decade, and we
Yep.
love doing this for you guys. We really just love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, we've done some pretty amazing things, over the years.
I
Not
think
just
I'm
on the
very
radio
thankful.
show, but together and the whole 9 yards. I mean, I'd like to be able to come out one year and spend the holiday with you guys.
That'd be fun. Mama Bear's usually off for a week during the holidays. Like this year, we have like her brother coming for the holiday. And then
Right
we
on.
have we do an annual family Christmas party where we all just get together. I play Christmas music mixed in with a little bit of feel good music, naturally leaning into those wonderful DJing skills for all those decades that
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
from nightclubs to weddings and stuff. And so I lean into that a little bit. And I actually, I've done one Christmas party, but I was a little salty because I'd rather have been at the Christmas party because that party was fire, son. Yeah, it was. You weren't there. You
It
weren't even
was,
born yet, probably. How old are
it
you?
was,
12? How old is our intern? Oh, he's 21. Yeah, I thought he was 12 because he looks 12. He looks like a 12-year-old who just copped a job like a newsie,
peach fuzz and everything.
right? Good day, sir. 25 cents for your copy of the news. Get out of here with that. All right, so, um, 25 cents for the news. Pay for the news. I'm Scrooge McTray. Anyway, all right, no, seriously. So,
AI
um,
gives it to us for free.
right, like, pay for the like, oh, that was what was it the other day? Cammy sent me an article. She said, "Look at this, you gotta read this. This is nuts, and I can't believe this." And I'm like, um, "So you sent me an article that let me read, like, the first, like, 3 sentences and then asked me to pay for the news?" And
Yep.
what I replied, "Pay for the news? What do you take me for? One of those people?" It's called the Associated Press. I'm not gonna pay you for the news when I could just donate to the Associated Press instead. Done.
Yeah.
That's free news. You can get it for free, and I'll donate to them because they're nonpartisan, unlike some of you and your news. I mean, even some of my news. I mean, maybe even both of my newses might be oppositely partisan.
Yeah. But we've never been paid for it.
Because here we bring you love. No, honestly, what I'm thankful for is I'm gonna say this. I'm thankful for I have fuck, how many now? Okay, 7 beautiful grandchildren. I had to think about this. Well, no, because listen, like one no, seriously, one could be born any day.
Oh yeah.
One's birthday was last year was just turned 1 yesterday. One of them can be born any day. That would be 8. And then the other one isn't due until after the year. She's 9. Yeah, 9. So, dude, I'm honestly, my head hurts. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
Like, am I just dehydrated or do I have 9 grandchildren? Can both be true?
how, how do you rotate those kids?
No, seriously, you wanna did I tell you about how we decided how to get the grandkids um Christmas presents or
No.
holiday, whatever you celebrate?
Are you picking them out of hat?
Yeah. Good guess, sir. We literally picked them out of a hat so that her and I could because we really wanted to like sometimes I want to just get like this kid something cool, right? And grandma
Yeah.
treads on that with her ideas of clothes. Look, Cammy, we both know this. So you try to buy them clothes. I buy them toys. This is what it is. They're always gonna they're gonna love me. They're gonna love me until they realize that clothes are more important than toys, and then they'll love grandma. But until then,
Right.
but no, I just we drove their names out of a hat. And we split them up, bro. We were like, we
Right.
both make close to the same income, so we both should just split the grandkids up.
Yep.
But by Christmas there'll be 8, so it was an even split, right? We didn't even have to say, "Hey, you make a little more than me, pick up an extra kid." Sorry, you make 50 cents more an hour than me, so please pick up the extra grandkid because over a year that is their present, sir, ma'am.
Right.
actually, if you want to know the truth, Mama's the breadwinner here. She makes more money than me. And this is only, I think, maybe it might be the second time, but it's definitely only, it could be the first time, but it's definitely not more than the second time that that's happened. And not that we do that. We actually love that when the other one can help the other one out. We really do. But I'm still a dude in that sense. And I'm like, I got to take care of my family and my wife. So I need to be a breadwinner. I'm not archaic.
yeah,
But I'm not part of the patriarch, man. I'd be like, fuck the patriarch. Patriarch be pissing me the
but
fuck off too.
yeah,
I am the
you
patriarch and I still be pissed at him.
you and I both know that even in today's society, I mean, it takes two to make a
Home.
relationship and a family work, because if you don't work
Listen,
together,
unless you're like a day
then
trader or a stockbroker, like on Wall Street, it probably takes two incomes to live, man.
yeah,
To live comfortably. I'll say it that way.
yes,
You can live in a dump, a one-bedroom studio dump with like people like shooting up meth next door. Sure. But if you want to live comfortably, it takes two people. I feel like I took it really dark, like really dark there. Like a little too real, maybe. A little too mother real. All right. So anyway, let's get on with this. So I am really thankful for all these grandkids, although it does feel overwhelming during the holidays because I know that I want them to be happy. I want them to like I want to be the last get on from this family. Do you understand what I mean by that though, Chris?
oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't want my kids to my kids never grew up in the ghettos, right? Did they grow up in the best neighborhood in town? Well, God, no. We're not wealthy for fuck's sakes, but did they grow up in the ghetto? No. Did they grow up in a in a trap neighborhood or a trap house complex
Trap
something? No.
house.
Not like I did. That's for damn show. I'm really proud of that actually because I was like I didn't waste money at college for nothing. The kids didn't grow up in the projects. So I will say I'm thankful for just honestly I'm just thankful for gaining more understanding. I'm thankful for Mama Bear. I'm because like her and I are doing so much in our life this next year with the kids and the grandkids and family, and I'm just so in love with that with her, and so I'm very thankful for Cammy, and I'm thankful for my kids and grandkids, and we all don't always get along. I'm telling you right now, like we don't always get along. I had to go up to one of my kids the other day and go, "Hi, my name is," well, here's what I said. I said, "Hi, my name is." I'm not going to give you my real name, but my name is. Okay, I said it and you believed it? Oh, clever little bastard, aren't you, you 12-year-old newsboy? No, I'm just playing. He's 21. Guys, please don't freak out. He's really an adult. I should probably clarify that just one more time,
Yeah,
just in case. That's a
child labor
grown-ass man that
laws.
drink. Okay? I just keep basically pacifying him as a 12-year-old newsboy that's like, buy my paper. And he's really our intern. Anyway, so we treat him like crap as a hazing, fun hazing thing, but it's not really, but we don't actually approve of real hazing, just for the record. Probably should say that. We don't actually approve of actual hazing. We pick on this poor, partially and moderately fictitious intern, and we move on with our lives. Deal with it. No, seriously, guys. So I'm like, but that's a grown fucking man. I don't want to be looked at as a weirdo later. This is a Thanksgiving show, for God's sakes. I would say it's a family show, but I think we've all moved past that. It's not. It's not for your children. But if your children are in the car, they're going to learn a few good words like, let me think. They're going to learn, and then probably and maybe even, and then you mother, and then that's probably it. No, wait, and also, and then you, yeah, that's it. I'm good.
Did you cover them all?
I love you, man. I love you, son of a bitches. I love you, son of a bitches. Let him lie to you. Let him lie to you. Let him lie to you. This guy gets it. This guy gets it. No, okay. So, in the meantime, but yeah, as you know, I'm a very big family man, but I'm very thankful for them. But I will tell you this one thing that really I've become a bit softer and nicer, actually. I mean, look, I play a good role. I've done this role for a decade. I play a good asshole. But the truth is, I've actually gotten really nice and kind of soft on life, and I love it. And my family softened me up, and these grandkids have turned me into an
I was
even
gonna
bigger
say
softie, more than the
it.
girls. I had 3
It's a
girls, so you know that they had me as a softie anyway. But
they have wrapped
I've become
around your
even more soft.
finger.
Say it one more time.
Kids,
Sorry.
I said they're wrapped around your finger.
Yeah, especially the granddaughters, because just like their moms, in all earnest, just like their moms, dude, I'm just like, please tell me whatever you want to make you happy, because that's the man I want you to always fucking remember me as, okay? Because then I can die a happy man knowing that my daughters, granddaughters, and wife knew that I was the guy that would do anything for them within legal reason, because I'm not going to prison for anyone. I won't even go to prison for me. How about
Well,
that?
and more than anything, you're just trying to you're trying to show them what a real man is. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to show them that the world isn't full of a bunch of douchebags, and there are some good guys
Yeah,
out there that really do just
right,
want you to be happy and want you to be whatever it is you want to be, and doesn't even care what that means, because I just love
right,
people for who they are, and I walk on a celestial plane, not a earthly one, of hatred. I do. I really just think that whoever you are, I just like you. As long as you're not out here like murder, death, kill people, right? Honestly, I'm like, what's up, man? I'll like you. I mean, you can't be a weirdo, because I just don't do weirdos, because I think that weird, that weird uncomfortable feeling,
yeah.
that uncomfortable one. It's okay, I'm done playing. All right, so obviously, I'm just like clearly thankful for my family, and especially Cammy and the girls, for making me a softie, and then the boys for just reminding me that my legacy will live on, and my grandsons especially, that my name will carry on, right? Our name, our family will carry on, and that's I don't know why. Call me an old. There's where you can call me an old fashioned patriarch, Chris. That does matter to
Right,
me. That my girls respect me. That's the modern man in me, right? The modern family, and
right.
then my girls love, respect me, and that matters to me. And the fact that they're still daddy's girls as grown ass women, I love it. And I'm hoping their daughters will be granddaddy's girls, right? Like, and I love it.
Yes.
And so, but on the flip side of that coin, I also feel like I love I hate to say it, but I do love the patriarchic side of it. Of my family will carry on, you know, as I call it, the Claudio Nation. My family will tell you all the time. That's what he
The
calls it. That's what I
Claudio
call us. Claudio
Nation.
Nation will
Get the
continue on, man, and I love it. And I think that's cool. So I'm very thankful for family, Chris.
you getting ready for Hunger Games?
Start sending my kids to die for food. No, I'm good. I don't like that idea. But no, seriously, that movie creeps me out, man. Like, hey, you know what? Speaking of creeping out, let's talk about fear factors. Let's get into it. Um, but where's my chilada? That's how you know he knows me. Like in human form. He knows me in human form. He's like, where's the geladas? You know me. Oh, I love it. It's good to see you, Isaiah. I miss you, buddy. He and I did IT stuff together. And anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I miss you, buddy. And
we
you already know it. It's gut wrenching. That's why I miss him. Anyway, but in this cruel world, fear factors. One of my biggest fears, the unemployment line. And that's why I miss Isaiah. Downsizing is a bitch. And that's one of my biggest fears, dude. Honestly, being broke. I always worry about being broke. I think part of it is
Yep.
because being broke doesn't work. And the second part is being a poor kid, Chris. What's your first big fear?
Yeah, it's definitely being broke.
That's what I
Didn't
call
grow up.
can we call that our economical societal fear? Because there's different types of
Yeah,
fears here. We're going to go through some
right,
of this.
right, definitely. I mean, didn't grow up dirt poor, but I mean, there's always struggles in life.
What's worse is we didn't start poor, but we definitely ended there. That's the hurtful part. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, right.
So shit. Anyway, but you know what's funny is I know I can roast my mom left and right on this show because she's never going to listen. She's kind of a bit of a conservative person, like politically speaking, for real though. And so not that you're not welcomed here. I want you here. Discord is great. Dialogue is awesome. Let's keep it respectable. But at the end of the day, my mom is like, he's a fucking little twit who's been pissing me off for almost 50 years. I don't listen to his show, okay? And I'm like,
Yeah.
good, because I roast you on my show, Mom. You probably shouldn't listen. And the day you do, I'm gonna get a lot of texts.
Let
A lot.
alone she might be trying to be a caller.
A lot. She's gonna be like, you played me off as an evil monster who's abusive. And I'm like, I'll just stare at her silently. Dude, my mom's might listen. I'm just kidding. Okay, so So anyway, now that I've literally thrown my mom under the bus, had some fun with it. I said I was thankful for my family, and then literally started ripping them. That's who I am, by the way. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Mr. Trey. That's Chris, and we do fun shit. So Chris, what is your biggest? Okay, so obviously everybody I think has that social economical fear of losing jobs slash broke. That's too easy, but and there are different types of fears. As a matter of fact, before we start talking about them, there's different types. First off, there's specific fears of stuff. There's specific phobias of things, and then there are irrational fears and phobias. Which, by the way, Chris, I reviewed that list of the irrationale. And a couple of them, I was like, is that really irrational though? Like, that's not even my fear, and I understand that poor bastard, okay? And then there's things like, is it economical? Is it economic, like related, right? Like, is it my income? Does that give me fear? And then there's the non-economic side of things, like a spider, arachnophobia. As one of the listeners mentioned earlier in the show, crazy lady, by the way, shout out. Thank you for the comment. But yeah, as she mentioned earlier in the show, she said, hey, spiders. And I thought, well, we're going to talk about arachnophobia because that's my way of introducing a phobia versus a fear. But I will admit that when arachnophobia popped up under irrational fears, I was like, is it though? Like, I'm not even a spider freak, but I also know that something that's like 1/100th of my fucking size can kill me. I'm not a moron. Like, it's not a fear. It's called factual intelligence. Man, look, they might be freaking out over, like, they see a fuzzball and they're like, oh my God, it's a spider. Ah! My ex did that. Literally drove home to kill a spider. First mistake. Second mistake, it was a god fuzzball. So I talk about irrational fear of spiders, right? But I will say that, like, knowing that certain spiders can bite you, like, for instance, I grew up in the desert with like things like brown lacrosse type spider,
Black Widows.
oh man, in the deserts, black widows are just notorious, dude. And so, like you said, black widows, all kinds of crazy spiders. And so, well, I'm not afraid of them. I'm also not a moron. I won't be out there fucking with black widows and scorpions. Okay, I'm not stupid. But I do use a black light to find them in the dark when they're like coming out for mating and stuff. It's fun. Like, they glow in
Oh
the dark.
yes, yes, scorpions.
Yeah, especially the desert scorpions that are light tan and you can barely see them in the day. But at night,
Yeah,
oh, them hoes stick out. You pull,
yeah.
like, you'll be like, oh, it's such a pretty night out. It's all dark. Oh, it's cool. And then you'll bust out a black light and be like, oh my God, I
no.
died.
Right. It's like
Fucking
walking
100
through
of
a
them around you, like,
landmine field.
at least they weren't literally next to me, so at least you're friendly, I guess. But anyway, so there's definitely irrational fears, but I felt like maybe the fear of phobia was definite, or spider specifically, just jumped off the page. Is like, is that really irrational though? First thing that popped in my head, I was like, you sure about that, buddy? I'm not even scared of spiders like that, and I'm still like, hey, I respect your gangster, you can bite. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I totally respect the fact that people are scared of spiders, but I mean, ultimately, if you stay the F away from them, then you're fine. Like, step on the thing for Christ's sakes. They can't run that fast.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny. I'm dead.
Well, your foot is 20 times the size of a spider, or at least most of them.
My former coworker said that's why he doesn't come over and drink beer with me, because he's scared of spiders. Sir, no, but no, but no, but yes, but no. Somehow, I don't
But yes,
know.
but
I don't even
no.
know how to answer that, because you're not wrong, but you're not right. Damn it.
Perhaps.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I think let's talk about some social situations or phobias and fears, right? Because, so for instance, like, I'll tell you a secret. I'm not afraid of heights in a sense, but I keep going back to, I'm so logical that I'm also not stupid. There comes a point where I'm up so high with very little safeguards that even I know I'm in. Like, I'm like, what's his face at the back of the bus? What's his face? The cops kid on Simpsons. I'm like, I'm in danger. Like, I'm not dumb. I know I'm in danger, but I'm not scared of heights. I ride roller coasters. I would jump out of a plane as long as they could tell me my knees aren't going to get crushed. But as long as that's okay, and yeah, I do it. And I think I may need to do that before I die. And I'm at an age now where jumping. When I was thinking about our show today, I was like, what is like a fearful thing for people that I would do at this age that I may not have done at 20? And let me tell you something. Short of ended up stuck in the military, having to jump out of a perfectly good fucking plane, which is irrational even for training to me. But hey, you know, our boys got to learn. It is what it is, right, ladies and gentlemen of the military? But listen to me. Jumping out
It's
of
a
a perfectly good plane, not actually smart in my opinion. I'm a logical thinker. So with
it,
that said, though, I think I need to be illogical and jump out of a plane that's perfectly fine at least once in my life. And I'll tell you something, Chris, I would not have done it in 20 unless like forced to as a military person. And here's why. Not afraid. Actually love probably even more fearless then than now. But I had a whole life to live, or at least I thunk it, right? And you know, I had a son already by then, so it wasn't worth the risk with so much life to live and a child that depended on me, right? But now that all the kids are gone, and if the chute doesn't open and I splat, then at least, you know, I've lived a good chunk of my life. Half now, it doesn't seem so in vain at this point. When you're 20, you've lived, you know, a quarter of your life, maybe, right? A third if you have very unhealthy tendencies, right? So yeah, it just didn't seem smart to me. Now, with that
what
said,
what what about
what
cliff
fear do you
jumping
do
though?
that other people fear? Like mine would be jumping out of a plane.
What do I fear?
No. Wrong answer. What would you do that many other people fear? Like mine was, I would jump out of a plane in a heartbeat. Most people actually fear that because of the fear of heights.
I'd like to go bungee jumping.
I don't know, man. I was so down, and then I watched these videos that kept me on. I think it was a show on HBO Max, like caught on video or something. And some poor girl splats into the river after bungee jumping, and I was like, "Great, now I'm never gonna go." Thanks. Have never showed me this. I would have went. I would have been happy. Never fret. Fine. Let me jump off that bridge with that bungee, baby. And then I watched that video of that girl splatting in the river. She did live, but I feel like I may not, and that is hurtful now.
It would make you want to measure before you jumped.
Dude, you I mean, so Mama Bear's bungee jumped and she was like, "How did they get that wrong though? Like, how did you not drop the cord down there and see how far it went before it
Right.
even extended?" Dude, she hit the
Right.
ground before the cord even bungeed. Do you get what I mean by that?
Oh, yes, I do, and that's
Straight free fall,
frightening.
no jerk back. Yeah. I literally when she hit, I was like, "Oh, mother, are you dying? You ruined it for me."
Yeah, yeah, right.
Because now I'm like, am I going to do it? I don't know, but you know,
It would
it's
be
weird.
it would be fun to jump off a building.
I think there's this finite, yes. I think there's this finite part until I don't know though. What if you fling out and then smack into the damn bricks or something, bro?
I'm I'm
I'm
not
like, I
talking
don't need
about
to be Spider-Man slapped into a set of bricks because I wanted to bungee jump. It doesn't feel smart.
I'm talking about like, parajumping where you just jump off with a parachute.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Also, I'm not gonna lie, those squirrel suits. I mean, you definitely need
Oh,
some real ass
yeah.
training for you just go trying to pull that off, but super cool.
Yeah, boy.
Super
Yeah, it
duper
would be
cool.
super cool.
I would do that one too if I would need some extensive training and probably 2 new knees, but I would do it. You know, jumping off of stuff when I know there's a small, but still chance you could die, but still small, doesn't bother me as much as, you know, if you told me, "Hey, jump off this 20-story building with no safety harnesses and nothing to," you know, I'd be like, you know, "What the hell are you asking me to kill myself?"
Myself?
Like, that would be my question. I'd be like, "Are you asking me to kill myself right now, sir? I have legitimate questions in this moment." Um, seriously. Speaking of legitimate questions, I always question why people make this mistake. Pause for a quick identification and a message from the show.
You won't be texting and driving with us up in your ride.
Thank you. Please don't text and drive. People die all year because of it. Use your hands-free devices and, you know, be a kind and gentle and good citizen of humanity. Thank you. That's all. I know somebody out there's gonna be like, "Man, shut up." But you know what? You're also gonna be the person that I have to go to your funeral, so please don't. Oh, that was cold. That was so deep. Preston would be like, "Bro, that is dark, and that is how you make changes." All right, so I think that sometimes. So, for instance, they say a phobia is like speaking in public, right? It even
Yeah.
has a name, glossophobia. Pretty cool, I think. Like I don't know how to respond to that. Cool, I guess. But anyway, but a lot of people do fear speaking in public. Clearly, I've never had that problem. It's getting me to shut up in public, my mom would say. Um,
Yes.
and my friends apparently. But
Yes.
but I have seen many people, and even I get a little excited. Like when I used to, like most of y'all don't know this, but I used to do like tour dates, music stuff, concerts, me performing, hosting, DJing, all of
Baby
it.
Bash.
Being
You
you
were
always you always say baby bash.
you were yeah, but you were super excited. You're oh man, come on, just walk with me. We're going backstage. Don't worry about nothing.
These are my peoples. I do their shows all the time. They love me, and it was true. They did.
Yeah,
And Ronnie, I'm sorry. He's the one who brings this up every time, not me. That's on him. I'm like, if Baby Bash ever hears this, I just want him to know, Ronnie, it was Chris.
yeah. But man, that was a fucking.
He's a
That's
cool dude.
what hooked me was the
Him,
whole radio
honestly,
thing.
even with the bad press for assaulting a female, I still enjoyed working for Afro Man. Because he's just like I don't know all his. I wasn't there for all his bad history, but I know he's actually a really funny dude.
Right. Yeah, he
Um,
is.
like normally speaking, I got to meet the guy that the movie The Big Lebowski that Jeff Bridges plays the character, the guy
Yep.
that the movie's actually about, the real story that really happened that whole movie's about. Got to meet that guy one time. I got to open up for an entire stand-up comedy set. Like the warm-up guy, just a little
Yep.
5-minute set. Like I've got to do some cool stuff, and it's just by just. I always say
When
I got away from the toxic people in my life, right, around 2013, just toxic and baggage, right? Honest answer.
yep.
And Chris, then after that, I said, I obviously had my own problems through life, like anybody, and so forth. But during that time, I said to myself, I said, from now on, when somebody says, "Do you want to do blank?" I'm just going to say yes. And here's why: because when you don't say yes, you miss out, man. When you don't say
Yeah.
yes, you don't get a chance. So I say yes. I say that that's a phobia too, though. A phobia of just being part of something, and then maybe even me having a little FOMO phobia, like fear of missing out is a real thing. There was a point, Chris, where I went out every weekend, every night of every weekend, whether I was working or off. And it was just because I didn't have anything better to do and I didn't want to miss anything. That's
Right.
lame sounding to me today.
But if you wouldn't have took some of those leaps of faith and went out and done some of those things, what would you have been doing today?
I don't know, but probably jumping out of planes with two good knees. No, I'll just play. No, probably not though. So I think fear of snakes is very legit. I don't fear that. See, I have these weird things where I'm like, I don't really fear you, but I'm not a moron. I to a level of absurdity, respect you, you reptilian thing that can
I,
murder me with your, constrictions. Like I'm not an
yeah,
idiot,
but
right?
I think some people are afraid of the texture of a reptile, though.
And some people won't even like they see a snake and they like run to the other side of the room like it's the movie Anaconda and you know Ice Cube might die. I mean, come on.
Well, what's funny though, I mean, people being scared of like yard snakes, little pythons, things that couldn't even barely kill a mouse.
I think this next one can come and go for people, but fear of death. If I'm being honest, this is one that started bothering me as I got into my 40s. And I think it may actually be more, at least in the moment, right? Related to that idea of maybe like for instance, when you're at a good point in your life, you might be worried a little bit about everything going to shit, dying, getting some weird bad cancer diagnosis or worse, right?
Right.
That
Or
makes sense to me.
a fear of not being accomplished enough, like you didn't get to do this, you didn't get to do that.
Well, that's where like when you said and I said, "Hey, I made a pact with myself at like 32, 33 years old that going forward I was just going to say yes to that concert date, yes to DJing that party, yes to doing that wedding, and also just to yes to everyday stuff like, do you want to go fishing? Do you want to do this? Doing this stuff that I think I had hit a bit of a depression. I was in a real toxic relationship, folks, and it wasn't that it was like toxic, but it was toxic enough that it was becoming so unhealthy that happiness was at a premium, and that wasn't okay, and you should never do that to yourself. But when you got kids involved, look, if you make a
Yeah.
long-term decision for the kids and it's not healthy for you, look, I'll just say, hey, we would sit in the same therapy class, friend. So I get it.
Yep.
But I think that fear of death is legitimate as you get older. Honest answer. Like dude, I got to start doing my like we said that by 50 we want to have our whole end of life stuff planned and paid for so the kids don't have to worry about it, right? Like little things like that start to really become a factor. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
My stuff's planned.
Nice. Well, you're over 50,
I,
you old bastard. So there you
I'm
go.
not yet, you goddamn youngin. Next year though.
I know. You're only a few years older than me. We wouldn't have went to high school together, I'll say it that way, but we definitely if we had went to an 8-year school, we would have went to school together. I'll put it out that
Yeah.
way. How about
This
that?
ain't this ain't your
No. So I think these next one, like fear of social interaction, that's pretty honest. There's um a lot of people fear being judged, scrutinized. A lot of the like violence that we see sometimes happen in places where social settings are can give people an irrational, but somewhat, if you think about it, rational fear of going out to public places. Like, I don't want to go to a street market because I'm worried somebody's going to drive a car down the street and kill us. That's you may be irrational in the thinking long term or the bigger picture thinking, but you also may not be that irrational because you saw it on your news. Somebody did it. It's not undoable, if you know what I mean.
in several places it's done.
Yeah, a lot of people have fear of like going out in public and stuff like that. And it stinks too because I bet public places would do better, the world would do better, you would have a better life because you get to go out more. But your fear may not be as irrational as maybe they say it is. And I feel that. I feel like your fear isn't as irrational as they say it is because things do happen and you're seeing them happen every day. Now, the chances are minimal. So is it irrational based off of a percentage? I could say sure. But is it genuinely just irrational? I don't know about all that. Are they wrong? Stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you're more likely to die in a car wreck than anything.
Facts. Within 2 miles of your house or some crazy shit like that. Like 80%
Yep.
chance of it being within 2 miles of your house even. It's
Yep.
off the chain level like crazy like that. Okay, next thing. Fear of enclosed spaces, that's, claustrophobia. That's a pretty normal one that and I could see that. Why me, I used to crawl through like ancient abandoned stuff in like Europe, bro. Like I'm not afraid of honestly, I should be dead. Like I'm just being honest, man. Like when my parents were deployed, dude, we literally found a hole big enough that us kids were just, we're talking like
Squeeze
6-year-olds,
through.
7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, big enough to squeeze into, and we climbed into a World War II Sherman tank that was at the front of the base we lived on. I got pictures. This is a real story. And anyway, like a Sherman style tank from World War II era, because that's what was used to conquer that base from the Germans when it was a Nazi base, right? And like I lived at a base that literally there were pictures of the most important people in the high command had literally been there as they're falling back to Berlin and as the US troops are crushing the game, right? And the allies. But anyway, so yes, I grew up in a cool place where you could die. Um, and I probably should have died a couple times, or at least got like had to be rescued, like that kid that fell in the pipe. Literally, though, dude, like it's not a joke. When you're a kid, though, you're not like I'm in danger. You're like I'm Indiana Jones.
You're right.
But for real, like we were like, let's just go
Oh,
on an adventure. Let's climb inside this abandoned thing. Let's slide into this small crevice that no adult could ever fit in. But we're kids, so we're gonna climb right up into this tank and play inside it, like as if we're at war.
at least, at least us as kids did. Like kids nowadays have no clue.
I agree. Fear of
because out
failure.
there,
How about
outside the
that?
house, there's a whole nother world that they know nothing about.
Seriously though, I'm gonna go with fear of failure. That's 100% a big deal. I think what's odd is I don't find fear of failure to be irrational. What I find extremely irrational is the lack of the fear of failure. A little fear of failure makes people get off their ass and get it done. You know what I mean? And so it's a little frustrating when someone has no fear of failing in a sense, and because of that they are too cush in the failure they may be in, right? Like that drives me nuts, especially with anyone I care about, right? If they're doing that, it drives me insane because I'm like, you could be everything you want to be, but you're just basically choosing not to, and you have no fear of failing. And every reason I'm everything I am and I work so hard and I grind and I go is because I've always feared being nothing later, right? Uh-oh, Chris got spunky.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we hit a little bit of a rough connection. Sorry about that, but you're fine now. Say it again.
Knowing that I didn't at least try to do, I said I would have a bigger fear of not trying something than a fear of trying something and failing. I mean, because you
I,
can always
I
try
agree.
again. You
Yeah.
can always try again.
If you fail, you can try again. But if you never try, then you can never try again.
Well, and
And what I
then
mean by that is
you'll
it's
never
not that you
know.
can't go back and try again, but there comes a point, dude, where like maybe an ambition or a goal that maybe you wanted to try, you'll never get to try again. When they have an open NFL tryout, even though you might get laughed off the field, just go show up. Be the first cut. You tried out for an
Right.
NFL team. Most of them are honestly rarely open. Usually the team's falling apart if that's happening, truth be told. But most of them actually are organized. You know, they
Oh,
invite
you
all the college
mean
kids that went undrafted, and you look like a bum, but at least you tried. You're not going to make
you
the
mean
team,
like every,
but at this point,
me,
who cares?
you mean like everybody's
Sorry,
fantasy football league this year?
bro. Did you lose this week anyway?
No, mother.
Did you lose? I really didn't. I never
Undefeated
looked.
still,
Are you still
baby.
undefeated?
No.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Yes, I'm
Bro,
still
oh
number
my god, no
one.
one has ever won 12 straight games in our league. It's at least more competitive than that. No one's
I'm
ever done that. He's not
murdering
doing this
it.
because people don't manage their team. He's just legitimately doing it. He beat my ass, and I know I manage my team. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're getting off
right.
track here. These next couple ones, I'm just gonna throw them out there. Fear of needles and injections, that's a pretty common phobia, actually. And fear of flying I find it to be irrational. But believe me, as again, remember, I'm not illogically fearful of things, but I am logically fearful of the obvious. So when I get on a plane, I'm like, this bitch fall apart, we dying. But am I going to be scared to get on the
Hey,
plane? Not at all. I've been flying since I was a child.
can I bring a parachute as a carry-on?
Right? No, seriously. Can I straight DB Cooper this bitch without the ransom?
Right. Oh,
Um,
I got a
like I
family and
said, I
grandkids to
think
get
that
home too.
of all of these phobias and all of these problems that are mentioned, I think that there is a line between the portion of it that really when I will say this, guys, when I think of fears, I do say that calling somebody's fear irrational is almost a dick move, if I'm being honest, because you ain't the one trying to live that life. Like you're not.
Right.
It's kind of fucked up. But I get why it's called irrational because there's a line in the sand where on if you're on this side of the line, you are being irrational. Um, for instance, being afraid of something that's not there, that may be a bit irrational.
Yeah.
Um, you know, being scared that you might fail at stuff, that may not be that irrational, but if you're if you're doing nothing to try to succeed, then maybe why your irrational fear exists, or maybe the lack of you doing something to succeed is why your fear exists. You have to start wondering, like, how much of this is me? That's the line in the sand. If there's a bee buzzing around my head, I'm going to move. I'm not a moron. I don't like bees. I'm allergic to them. I'm going to move. Not a moron. However, am I going to be like, crikey, mate, we're on the hunt for bees? No, fuck
Yeah,
no.
no.
That's ridiculous. That's where it becomes irrational, right? For instance, if I have a fear of dying, well, okay, fine. Nobody wants to die, bro. That's a rational fear. But if I am going around like straight bubble fucking wrapped like the kid on Little Giants, mom does him in the movie, that's irrational fear. If I think, if I'm worried about a vaccine causing me problems, that might be a rational fear. If I try to stop everybody from getting the vaccine because I'm scared of a vaccine,
That
that's an irrational
that's
fear.
yes.
It becomes what can you control versus what you can't control, and then what's going on right around you. I think when you start sort of veering into the lane of uncontrollables, I think that's where it becomes irrational, honestly. How much you invest in the uncontrollable part of a fear, I think that's where the fear becomes irrational, right? And I think how much you invest in the controllable portion may actually be somewhat better. For instance, if you have an irrational fear of heights, maybe you shouldn't jump out of a plane. Why torture
How about
yourself? But you could also conquer that fear.
how about the fear of a vaccine and trying to control everybody else into not getting it?
Well, I think, like I said, that's why I think the form of irrational fear comes to mind. You're trying to control the entire outcome of something instead of just controlling your own environment. The
Right.
fear becomes so irrational that you have to exterminate all spiders on the planet when you have no idea how many of them do so much good and how many of them are
Oh
actually
yeah.
completely harmless to us, at least. If you ever wonder why you don't have a lot of bugs, but you see a spider every once in a while, dummy. So maybe your fear is moderately irrational, but look, I'm like this. I'm like, I treat spiders like all my old homies from the hood is still doing hood shit. I'm like, he cool. I don't fuck with him because I ain't trying to get in trouble. That's how I treat
'Cause
spiders. Is that fucked up?
pe-
Like, that's really how I
well,
treat
yeah.
spiders.
Well,
I treat spiders like the ex-homie who's still fucking up.
bats too. People that are afraid of bats. I mean, if you really
That
think
is
about
so
it,
irrational.
bats eat so many goddamn bugs that it's
I'm
unreal.
That sounded very judgy. But no, because it's so irrational. Like, a bat doesn't even want to fuck with you. Even the literal vampire bat is not going to fuck with you.
Right.
Also unfairly named and unfairly tied to Dracula,
Yeah.
who the real one was a monster for real, and the fake one is just a monster for fun, but irrationally tied to Dracula, but also makes Halloween fun. But yeah, look, let's be honest, guys. Think about this. Most fears and phobias are somewhat handed down through time, memoriam, and society, cultural, so on and so forth, right? There's places where, for instance, the bat is revered as a godlike creature, right? And then you're afraid of it because you think it's a vampire, right? Like, irrational versus and maybe revering the bat as a godlike creature is a bit irrational, right? Like, hey, that pendulum can swing both ways, and I'm willing to accept that. What I will say is that I think if you go into a situation and try to respect people's opinions, Chris, and their thoughts on their fears, and try to understand them, I think you just gain more ground than telling somebody your fear is irrational.
Him being a douchebag.
Yeah, because there's shit I'm worried about every day and scared of every day, and like, my family has largely went unscathed from things like hereditary diseases that go back and cause problems, like literally like everything from deformities to illnesses, right? But I also know that two of my kids are adopted, so I don't even know their real history, right? And my history isn't their history, right? So I know that I may have an irrational fear of something bad happening to my family, right? It may be somewhat irrational, but the idea that I'm concerned about my family, that can't be irrational. That's good, I think. Like, to be worried that
Hmm.
something bad's going to happen, but not bring it up and not make anybody scared, right? I think that's notable in a sense. I am noble, sir. I am a nobleman for shutting the fuck up.
I mean, because honestly, aren't things like that, being worried about your family being able to be stable and have a good income and a good life, uh, is that really necessarily a fear, or is it more of a worry?
I think it's a worry. I think it's a fear driven by worry. How about that? So I think
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's actually both in a sense of that because you have the
Right.
worry or the fear of being broke, the fear, like if I lose my job tomorrow, after the 401k runs out, what do we do? That's a real fear, right? Like I just
Right.
told you something very honest and genuinely real. I don't have, parents that I don't have parents that put a nest egg together for me. My grandparents, none of my grandparents left me anything, and the only grandparent I have, and by the way, I just want y'all to know, I don't want necessarily anyone to leave me anything, but I'm telling you, by not leaving me anything, by de facto, I know all I have is all I have, right? Like there's
You
nothing I can
put guards up. You
moderately count
put
on.
guards up. You put guards up because of stuff like that, because of the unknown.
And I know that I can only count on me. And I think that honestly, that's
Yeah.
actually fair play. Like I think all of society has to understand that yes, if you're lucky and you have like family members that do well for themselves and they leave you a little something something that's more than vacation money, because honestly, if your family leaves you vacation money and you don't take a vacation with that, you're an asshole. They left you vacation money, go take a vacation, stupid. But I'm not from a wealthy family and I'm not from a family that's just bonkers money making family. We've all tried to take care of our own and we've tried to help ourselves and 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 this is stuff I know about family that I grew up with and family I didn't grow up with, right? Like everybody kind of is just at I'd call us the lower middle class grouping, right? In today's society. I think middle class, you're starting to leave not only your kids but you have enough that if you left your kids that much, they're going to shoot you a text anyway. So you drop some off on your nieces and nephews, right? Something weird like that. That's middle class, and I think upper middle class, you're like leaving kids' houses, not houses.
Right.
And boats and property and all kinds of stuff, right? So I really view my family. We may have a few wealthy members of the family, right? But it's not enough yet to change things. But like I told you, that's why that fear of being broke is so real because I know all I got is a little bit of money to get by for a little while. And then I might have to go back to washing tables and sweeping floors and serving food just to get by. But guess what? I got that humility, Chris. I know I do because I've seen me do it.
Right.
I won't be left out in the cold if shit goes sideways. I've been too good to everyone around me too long, and I take care of everyone around me and I look out for them and they don't really have to ask me. I find it weird that people don't ask me more to do their tech stuff, but I'm thankful. Being honest, like I'm like, thank you for not asking me to do your stuff. My freedom and time is a premium, man. This is why I don't commit crimes, and I'm thankful when people don't pay me for stuff. True story. But I will say this, when you need me, I come in the clutch. If you have an IT problem, I will call you and fix it or whatever. If I can help somebody's grandma I've never met before fix it, guess what? But you gotta have my personal number and you ain't getting it if I don't know you because I am not sitting at home on my time off doing tech support. Although I should start my own firm. But anyway, goals, dreams, and ambitions, Chris. But the reality is sometimes the biggest fear of even a good goal, a good dream, or a good ambition is the fear of failure. There have been times, Chris, where I've said, there is such a better chance this will fail that I am going to let the fear in and I'm going to let the fear set me straight to not even do this because it shouldn't be done. And you know what? If I was wrong, I was wrong. But I will tell you, I don't know how many times you can roll the dice, bro, and like get it right.
Right.
And the one time that all the odds were stacked against me in the radio station stuff, right, and building that station, all the with the owners and stuff, all those odds were stacked against me and my coworkers, right? All the odds, and
Yeah.
somehow we beat those odds. So I always feel like that was my chance. It's like I should shut up and just, do my thing, live my life out. They're gonna find out Pop Pop was famous for 5 minutes and let it go. And I'm okay with that. Is that
Right.
weird? Am I underachieving?
No.
I don't think so.
Underachieve. Get the fuck out of here.
Shut up. But sometimes I do feel like I could probably have, been moderately more
Oh,
famous, but as the further I got down that or up that ladder, the less and less I wanted to be up
be
on
it.
that ladder. It got weird, man. I'm the guy
Like,
for the job, but I want you to stay out of my personal business, I guess, and that's hard when you're,
right.
on the radio with, tens of
But I,
thousands and hundreds
I,
of
I
thousands of
think
people every day.
you found that happy medium between fame and still being able to keep your life private.
I think this dude just called me a low budget podcaster, and you know what? Honestly, I'm go ahead. Yep, do it twice. Thank you. I deserve that. On that note, hey, one day maybe we'll be a high budget podcaster. I always dream, Chris,
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
fun, warm, welcoming content. Once in a blue moon, we'll stray off the beaten path and talk politics and,
Yeah, we
you know,
definitely do that.
murder red rum, crazy shit.
Murdered
But
red room.
as much as I hate it, and as much as I hate all the negativity surrounding it, it deserves its point and its show. Even if that's once a season. No, anyway, that was a joke, Chris. I'm just giving you a hard time. We are gonna we're gonna
I
we're
know.
gonna we're gonna probably open up with the way too early political show or something funny like that
Right.
after we have to start with the Super Bowl show after the Christmas break. And by the way, folks,
Yep.
just want to give you guys a quick little brief thing, and then Chris. Well, actually, no. Before I give them a preview of the next coming weeks, let me ask this, Chris. Um,
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, let's get away from fears and scares and just say this. You know, if you were a let's say a divine being, maybe not a god, right? But maybe you work for a god. You're like, hey, I work for the gods, bitches. Some real, Thor shit here. Okay. Okay. I don't
Like
know.
you can.
But you get what I'm saying, right? I work for the gods. I've got a little bit of divine power, but not, infinite cosmic power popping out of genie bottle
Yeah.
stuff, right? Not that, but just a little bit of divine power, right, Chris? And you could guide someone. What would you tell them to be thankful for or try to make them thankful for? I'm just curious. If you had that power, that cosmic power.
What would I tell someone to be thankful for? And
Yeah, baby Chris Jesus, all your followers. That's what I'm getting at.
be thankful for what you have. Be thankful to be alive. Be thankful that your life can get better, regardless of what situation you might be in.
Thank you for that. And unlike my normal self, I'm not even going to answer or say anything behind you. That was well played, sir.
Thank you.
With that said, fist pumps up, respect. We have a month of shows left, or 4 shows until we go on holiday, Christmas, or Kwanzaa, uh, Jewish holidays,
Happy
Hanukkah. I'm trying
Hanukkah.
to remember all the stuff. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, the solstice. All my pagans out there, fist bumps to you too. I respect everybody. I think everybody should get a shout out, man. No one's, I always tell everybody, if you think you got it all right, I'm scared.
You're wrong.
I fear you. There you go. What's my irrational fear? People who think they
Yeah,
actually got it all
you
figured
got
out.
that right.
I say the crazy Christians, the crazy Muslims, the crazy this, the crazy that, because the people I find crazy are the people who think they actually have it all figured out. You're the ones that scare me. That's not a joke. I'm dead serious. No one has it all figured out. The more and more I meditate, the more and more I get this sense that I know less, and that can't be an accident. It can't be a reason. I'm not anybody special. But why is it the more I become more and more inclined to figure out spiritual things, the less and less I feel like I know? It's not an accident, people. It's called an epiphany. And that epiphany is I don't think anyone has it figured out. And I won't the more and more you think you do, I'm just like, whatever, dude. Now, with that said, happy New Year's, happy Christmas. We have 4 shows left coming up. Um, coming up, it was, we have inspiring podcasters. So, funny enough, next show, we're going to be talking about how do you start from the bottom and get maybe to the middle or the top and build a podcast that's, worthy to be listened to, right? Because anybody can flip on a mic and run your mouth. But do you have something worth listening to? When I go listen to podcasts, people send me links all the time to listen to stuff, and I'm like, this shit sucks. And then
Yeah.
sometimes somebody sends me something, and I'm like, great Scott, he's a
Dude.
goddamn genius, man. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I'm listening, and I'm like, holy shit, this chick gets it. You know what I mean? I love it. But more often than not, I don't actually get that kind of content. I get people that are boring and really just don't have that much to offer. And that's not a dig. I want to make that clear. This is why I
Yeah.
want to do this show, and I want to throw this show out here, and we want to do this show because that's not a dig at people. If you really want to be a podcaster, if you really want to know what it's like to have 100,000 people, a couple 100,000 people listen to you at one time, we've been there. We've been to the pinnacle on terrestrial radio, nonetheless, where it's easy to grab that many listeners, right? But what does that take to be interesting and fun? And what should you bring to the table to begin with to start? Let's have a conversation about that the next show, by the way, next week.
Okay.
Again, sorry about last week, guys, barring any emergencies. I had an emergency last week. That's why we had to
Yeah.
push this show out to the Thanksgiving show. Or the Thanksgiving week. But anyway, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving special. Also, because we were going to do inspiring podcasters during the Thanksgiving special, and it all got moved around. So next show, inspiring podcasters. We still want to circle back around to the South African study that one of our friends sent us. Chris, do you still have that screenshot? I hope.
I think so.
Resend that to me, please. I want to review
Yep.
that again because we're getting close to that show. Guys, it's
Yep.
a study that it profoundly shows that even using the leaf part of the plant is actually critical. We're going to talk about that and just what that means and how I've always been a proponent for whole plant extraction when you're going to do concentrates anyway. And
Yep.
also for edibles. The whole plant extraction is actually something I've been a proponent for long before this study, right? So
Yes.
now I feel like there's something that may vindicate me a little in a sense of it backs up what I've been saying, that you need the whole plant at times. You can't just smoke the neggies, buddy, but that's fun too. And to wrap up our final show going into the holiday break will be, of course, our, again, 10th annual holiday special. Every year we just sit down and we just enjoy dude, guys, I get in here with my Santa hat on and my cocoa mug. I'm not kidding. Like, we have fun.
Yeah, we do.
And it's really heartwarming. And after, you're going to get me a little choked up because we've been doing it every year. And it's just a time to let your guard down and
Yep.
forget the politics and the news
Enjoy.
and whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, just any of the other stuff, and just talk about the joy of it all.
Yeah.
I'm not Jewish, but one of my best friends coming up was Jewish, right? So I got to experience a lot of Hanukkah stuff and talk to them about that. One of my good buddies was Jewish, just coming up through life, and as a young adult or as a middle adult, young adult, medium adult, whatever. And then I have a really good friend right now he's not a Jewish himself, but he's got Jewish heritage, right? I've had a friend that's from Ghana and they do Kwanzaa, he's a Kwanzaa guy, right? And he's a Christian by faith, but he does the Kwanzaa stuff and because he's from Africa, right? He's from Ghana. And I just find it to be so fascinating, and pagans hitting their solstice for the winter, knowing that the new beginning is coming after the death of everything, right? Like, that's what winter means to some cultures and societies. And for
Yeah.
me, that's what it really means. You know what it really means for me? My pipes might freeze and I got to get the
Yeah.
space heaters out. It pisses me off. That's what the winter solstice means to me. But God bless you, pagans.
Right.
Or Jesus bless you, or Yahweh, or Kwanzaa, or whatever. I'm very open. I don't actually do religion as a formal thing, but Chris will tell you.
Yep.
I feel like when I meditate, that's my chance to sort of speak to the gods and the energies of the universe, as you call it, whatever you want to call it, right? So I do my
Right.
thing. I have a thing, but I'm just not big on organized religion because I find that the minute things become a little too organized, they become oppressive. Fair enough?
Yes. Fair
Something
enough.
as beautiful as Muslim or Christianity can become a dog shit of a oppressive thing in a heartbeat. And
Yep.
it's just the people that do it to it, despite the actual thing being quite gloriously beautiful. I've read the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, a couple other spiritual stuffs. I want to get my hands on the Muhahahahahaaa. Indian text, guys, older than even anything Asian. Seriously, I want to get my hands on that. I want to read it. I love spiritual text, Chris, because truth be told, it's all fantasticals that are actually rooted in some real truth there. No matter what you read, guys, it's not always good. I would actually venture that it's probably not even close to true.
No.
But I will say that there's some truth behind what's there. Guarantee it, because it wouldn't be passed down for eons if it hadn't been rooted in truth to begin with. I really believe that. Shout out to Margarita Town. You know what? I think that's my aunt, dude.
Really?
Just throwing that out there. I'm pretty sure that might be my Margarita Town. Is that Aunt Margie? Yes, it is Aunt Margie.
Right.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You walk in a room and you're like, I think we're family. We look alike. It's like a radio version of that.
No, right?
I'm like, I recognize that tag. Is that my TT's tag from her Instagram? Wait a
Right.
minute. All right, that's great. I love it.
Heck
I
yeah.
haven't been on social media in a year, man. And if you guys want to find me, I will tell you a secret. If you know how to find me, you can find me on YouTube, but I won't even be there. Everything I do is wake and bake. I don't really want social media. I find it to be a place where I don't want to be. It's not what it used to be when it used to be fun. Now it's just everybody telling you their opinions. So I just don't do it anymore.
Right.
But my family, I always tell my family, I'm like, they know how to get a hold of me. They know how to see me, reach me. They know how to holler at me. And that's all I need. And if you want to see us, you want to holler at us, you want to send us any comments, any love, you want to be a guest on the show and you have an idea for that show, feel free to reach out. Info at the @ sign, the letter, or info at the word wake, the letter N, the word bake. So wake and bake americashow.com. So info at wakeandbakeamericashow.com, and we will get an inbox, and Chris and I will discuss a show for you. You basically got the end of February when we start the second half of the season off at the end of February with our Super Bowl special. We always do a Super Bowl special because that's such a big deal here in the U.S. And then after that, we have lots of shows and lots of time and ain't nothing but space and opportunity. So if you got ideas, we want to hear them. If you're not going to be, if you're like, I don't want to be an inspiring podcaster, I just want to see if maybe I can help a show, then maybe we're the people for you. Come up with an idea, present it. If it's actually worthy of a show, we will be very genuinely honest with you, and then we're doing that shit. Holla. I'm not kidding. We're about that life. We really are very communal, in the sense of we want you to succeed. And if you want to do this, then maybe you need a few warm-up runs, right? Like when I wanted to do stand-up comedy once, I was the warm-up guy for a reason. I knew I wasn't ready to do a full bit yet, but I wanted to try because I felt like I've been funny my whole life, funny enough to get beat by my mom. So I wanted to try. And that's my example of come on our show with an idea, is be that, warm-up guy at the comedy show before the real comedic comes out, right?
Yeah.
And we're down. I really want to open that olive branch, Chris. We want to be this. We used to be a very aggressive, politically driven show. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off.
Right.
It's the truth. It got that way. We were not going to take no shit from no goddamn president, no matter who the fuck he was, right? Or she was. But we really came back to the drawing board when we brought the show back and said, we really just want to go back to what we were before everything got political, right? And just do crazy shows about crazy ideas and be warming. And part of that was bringing, customers on the thing, and then listeners and except for aliens. No, we already did that.
Yeah.
We could do it again. That's one that I'm down for every day of the week. Like I would just I honestly, I don't know why I don't do like my own skin like unaffiliated Skinwalker Ranch show. Because seriously, I'm that dude. Oh my God, Chris. Okay. Guys, we are over time. I have to get to a Google Meet FaceTime call. We have a granddaughter on the way. We sent some gifts up to where they live, and they want to unbox them with us on the video. So I need to get going.
You need to do that.
But Chris, I need to leave you with this.
Much love, man.
So dude, no, don't leave.
Don't leave.
I'll stab you. I'll stab you if you leave me. Don't leave me, girl. No, I'm just playing. No, listen. So all my alien fans out there and friends, you opened the door and I almost forgot, but then you said something and now you get this, and for your pleasure. On Saturday, November 22nd in the evening, my youngest son and I were outside hitting a dab pen, baby. You know I was outside. We was at a kid's birthday party, so that's why we was outside. We was hitting weed, man. So anyway, we were looking what would be sort of a little slightly northeast from where we were positioned in sort of downtown, just sort of east of downtown Colorado Springs in that moment, right? And we saw a dot go over the sky, which I initially, the way it was moving, I thought it might be a space station or a satellite, right? So of course, I use my AI to find out if there's any satellites going over me at the moment, especially the U.S. space station, which glows like a freaking star when it goes over, right? Or at least like a meteor.
Meteor.
I mean, it lights up like a Christmas tree if you know what to look for. And they're like, no, that thing went over your area an hour ago. That is not what you could be seeing right now. And I'm like, oh my God. So then we're watching this little UAP, unidentified phenomenon, ball of light just keeps straight on, just trucking on the space highway above Earth, just trucking along. And then it faded the fuck out and then faded the fuck back in, Chris. And that's when I said, that can't even be a satellite now. And my son said, Dad, it probably just went behind a cloud. And I
There ain't no
literally
cloud.
grabbed his arm as tight as I could. And I said, please show me where there is a cloud tonight, sir.
Yeah, right.
And he said, damn, you got me there, though. I don't know what to say now. Did we? And then he looked at me dead in my eyes with his eyes as big as quarters, bro. And he said, did we just see an alien
You know it.
or a spaceship? And I said, bro, I can't say yes,
And I can't say
but I definitely cannot say no.
Right.
That's my story to share with you guys in overtime. Bro, I'm telling you right now, it was chasing the satellite. Yeah, I was chasing the space station. I was like, "Oh, that motherfucker." I'm like, bro, you an hour late, dude. No, anyway, like catch up. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, I just want to share that with you that it was an amazing night on Saturday night. I've seen a few UAPs. One of them did a 180 and went the other direction, guys. I'm telling you, I've seen some shit that I'm just like, first off, I want y'all to know that I am not a foil hat wearing fool. Not even close. I'm actually one of the biggest skeptics you'll ever meet. You need to prove it to me or else shut your mouth. You're just running your mouth, right? I'm very, very logically driven like an IT guy would be, right? It's A plus B equals C. Zeros and ones add up to what they are, and that's the end of it. If they're not, then they're wrong, but that's the end of it.
Yeah, but that
right?
area you're in out there is famous for seeing stuff like that.
The area I'm in is a hotbed for weird military shit. It's like Area 51, guys, but no one talks about
Right.
it. It's on the other side of Pikes Peak, and it's the San Luis Valley. And I'm telling you guys, bro, okay, I'll eat shit if you can tell me if there was a satellite going over Colorado Springs at 10 or at 5:54 in the evening on November 22nd, because they told me that the U.S. space station went over like literally 30, 45 minutes earlier, and there's no way you could have seen it because I'm on the other side of the earth by then, right?
Bro.
So, end of story.
Bro.
If you can find the military or other country satellite that went over us at that time,
Bro.
spy satellite, anything, I'll take it. I'll shut up. But otherwise, we saw what we saw, motherfucker.
Weather balloon material.
And you can't take that from us. And bro, of course, I panicked. My son's like, "Why are you holding my arm so tight?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, bro." And then I realized that I didn't even pull out my phone or nothing. And I was like, "I'm so glad you're here," because Mama Cammy never believes me on anything when I see something crazy. No, when I saw the U-turn flip around, it was the video of me. She said the way I responded in the security camera, she was like, I knew you saw something because you look like a kid who saw Santa. He said, like, I know you saw something regardless because you were so excited. You look like a kid who saw Santa. And the camera's pointed down, obviously, at me, not at the sky, but it makes me want to go out and buy a $2,000 device called a DARP.
Yeah.
You know DARP? You know DARPA.
Oh, yeah.
I want a DARPA device, bro. I just want to sit it outside, like in the summer when the nights are a little bit, or in the winter when the nights are a little bit longer, so you just get more night sky going on, and just see what happens. Just how many unidentified things. It's like that doesn't travel like a satellite. That doesn't travel like a comet, meteor, or anything like that.
Right.
I would love to have one of those. They're $2,000. Mama already said.
You better ask Santa.
She said, I think she heard me. She heard me talking to my AI. Like, how much does this cost? Where can I get one? Da 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 da. And she's like, I walk in the room, I'm like, babe, and she's like, no. And I walked right back out like a pissed off puppy, just like I should.
With your arms crossed and pouting the whole way.
Honestly, that's how I felt. I was like, really? Like, you're not going to let me get an alien finder? Like, you won't even let me agree to disagree that aliens could be real yet. You're not there yet. And then you won't let me get the device that could literally bring you there. Well, thanks. Thanks for crushing my dreams. Cammy. All right. So
let's get out of here.
let's get out of here. We're way over time, but I enjoyed you guys. I got to get on this video call with my
Yeah.
daughter and her spouse. And so anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week. Like I said, check out how to do a podcast and, little things like little nuances, like how to be in the moment funny. We're going to talk about all that because some of it's just natural and some of it's an act.
Yep.
And you're going to find out, actually, we're going to pull that veil back next week. Be here if you really are interested.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Hungry Hustling American Dream Afro Man. Wake and bake, America. Yeah, you're chilling with Mr. Ashtray.
That's Mr. Trey, not Ashtray.
You're listening to Mr. Trey, and you know why. Yeah. Yeah.